Since 1993, the event has been based in Botswana and started from its capital city, Gaborone. With me, Off-Road Commission President Bux Carolyn. Bux, why Botswana as a venue?
Well, this is where the event originally started. It used to be called the Trans-Kalahari, and with Toyota's involvement, the biggest deal in the Southern Hemisphere comes from Botswana, and that's why we decided to bring the race here.
And of course, Botswana's abundance of mineral resources ensure that it's one of the wealthiest countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Gaborone is a fast-growing city, and not surprisingly, half of the country's population live in this vibrant city. As was the case last year, race headquarters were at the Grand Palm Hotel and Casino Resort. 11 points separate the top 3 riders in the closely fought 200cc motorcycle class, with the KTM-mounted riders being chased by Kawasaki's Quinton Milton.
I've never done the Toyota 1000 before, so my aim is to finish the race, but when I get to the overnight stop tomorrow night, I'll see how I feel and maybe give it all I've got in the last day.
Another rider worth keeping an eye on is Chris Dodd, who has a vast amount of experience.
Been doing all the off-roads this year. It's been going well. I'm back on a 200 as opposed to a 250 from 4 years ago. I'm a little bit older, maybe a bit wiser, so maybe I'll take it easy in the beginning, but at least I'm going to get to the finish.
Reigning quad champion Christo Vanamava leads the over 200cc quad class on his Johannesburg Yamaha Banshee, with Cornel de Villiers heading the 200 class only 3 points adrift.
I think we've learned a lot last year with the Banshee. We've sorted it out, and yeah, the pressure is on, but I think all eyes are on Wickers van Deventer, and that takes the pressure off me, but the pressure's on me on winning the championship, you know, and I'll just take it easy and try and push, you know, just to get to the front or close to the front for the first day at least.
Believe it or not, but there's over 50 horsepower in these twin-cylinder 350cc motors. And someone who knows how to ride those horses, Wickers van Deventer.
Die wedren baie positief benader, baie versigtig ry, oor die kundig probeer ry. Volgende maandag vlieg ek Portugal toe om die Telecel te gaan ry in Portugal. So die wedren wil ek net graag klaarmaak, maar ek glo ek sal baie goed doen hier. So dit is my kos hierdie lang afstand, ek hou daarvan.
Consistent performances have taken Yamaha's Spencer Creel to the top of the 250 motorcycle points log, but Daryl Curtis is only a sniff behind. Third place, Clayton Enslin, is one of the most dedicated riders around and can't be ruled out.
You know, I think that a finish this weekend will be good for me. I didn't enjoy this ride last year, so you know, if I can just finish in the top 3 250s, I'll be happy.
A mere 3 points separate Toyota's Arpi Reinecker and Robin Houghton from Mitsubishi's Neil Woolwich and Paul Vermaak in the production vehicle race, while Cliff Barker and Hein Lattergan are third for Land Rover.
First, this is a very long event, it's 1,000 kilometers. You have to keep your car together over the first 700 kilometers, so you can't push it too hard. Normally what we do, we try and keep it together and race it the last 200 kilometers. But on the other hand, this type of terrain suits our vehicle very good, and this is one of my favorite events. I love the terrain here. I farm in similar conditions on my farm, so I'm used to this types of roads, so I favor them about the other roads that we have.
With the new BMW-powered Land Rover waiting in the wings, Cliff Barker was out in the V8 version for the last time.
Well, you know, obviously the last 2 events we've had a hell of a good entries, and mostly in production vehicles. You've got 2 sort of major distinctions in production vehicles. The one is the modified side of it, which would be class D and F, D being 4-wheel drive and F being 2-wheel drive, and then E and G. We've had quite an upswing in E since we introduced the diesels. We've got good competition between Land Rover, Mitsubishi, as well as Toyota in E. And then I think in D, we've had a few older vehicles that have been revamped now, like Old Fred, which the Comfort brothers are campaigning and rebuilt. And then the Mitsubishi, which unfortunately I believe is not running. They had a problem yesterday with the engine, and they're not running. And then obviously myself and Arpi. And Cassie has had a bad start to the season, but I'm almost sure he's going to be there. He was leading the race last year until he hit the cow, and I'm almost sure he's going to be there. I think that car, they persevered with it, and I think it's going to do the thing.
In the open class, Alfie Cox is leading his old rival Jeremy Davies by 11 points. Cox recently returned to the deserts of North Africa for the Atlas Rally, which took place a couple of weeks before the desert race.
For me, it was just a great rally. I lost a bit of time on the second day, but you know, to win 2 of the stages over the rally was a good experience, and to also win from front the one day, from having to lead the race and win that day. And that's what I was aiming to do. 4th on that race, good experience, and I'm hoping to go to Dubai now in November with Kulwa Blondes, and then we go to the Dakar, hopefully in '99.
Rival Jeremy Davies is aboard a 600 Honda, and its 4-stroke characteristics are well suited to the endless tracts of soft sand.
I think when you've ridden it a couple of times, you just know what you're in for. And, you're tired when you get off the first day of 500 k's, and the second day you've just got to have enough strength to push it, because that's where you'll make up the time. If you're running top 5, top 6, and you're strong coming home, you're guaranteed of a good position.
There's not much in it at the top of the Special Vehicle Championship table, and single-seat race co-driver Richard Carolyn is a past winner of this race. Greg Harvey and Boy Stone came close to winning in 1995 and are a single point adrift. John Lambert won here in 1993, but hasn't been seen much yet this season.
93 was a good year for me. We came out, it was the first year, and we had a fantastic race. Off-road racing is in the blood, we come back 5 years later, let's see if we can scoop it again. Marathon races for me are enjoyable, we'll see how we go.
As always, there's plenty of light-hearted banter between competitors and crews at the pre-race formalities, but the Four Wheel Drive Club has been hard at work for months before.
Yes, the Four Wheel Drive Club was actually formed to stage this event, and in 1975 we had the first event, which was sponsored by Total. It was called the Total Trans-Kalahari. Total were the sponsors until 1979. 1980 IGI stepped in as the sponsor, and then 1981 Toyota stepped in as the sponsor, and they've been the sponsor to date. Logistically for myself, I probably spend 2 weeks up here at various times. As far as the number of people involved, I have in officials, radio guys, paramedics, all the rest of it, 121 people up here at the moment. I would say 80% of the people that we use are Four-Wheel Drive Club members, and the balance, like the paramedics and that, we draw from other resources.
One of the important aspects of pre-race preparation is the driver's briefing. Bux, why is it so important?
Well, as you see, the route has been prepared weeks in advance, and obviously the terrain can change. There can be a storm, something can happen, and there's updates to the route schedule. So what needs to happen is the competitors have to be briefed as to the changes. They have to be told exactly what's going on, as half of these drivers don't read instructions. It's important to change the route schedule. As you'll see, these guys are changing their route schedules for the next day, and you know, we can't take any chances. We want the guys to have everything 100% right for the race. It's compulsory for competitors to attend this briefing.
Race day dawned